Is there a pointer? So, good morning. Before 2015, most of us were treating corneal ulcers. We just had to differentiate a fungal keratitis from a bacterial keratitis mostly, and then start the treatment. But in 2015, a paper was published from LVPI by Dr. Savitri, where they reported 13 patients who had been treated as fungal keratitis with not a very good outcome, and the fungus was identified as unidentified fungus. But later on, from the archive cultures, they isolated insidiosum, Pythium insidiosum. However, this was not the first report of Pythium insidiosum from the world. There have been reports from, mostly from Thailand, but from India it was the first thing, and so it landed up us with another new kid on the block that created a lot of confusion and bad news. The first bad news was that Pythium clinically resembles fungal keratitis, and even on microscopy, direct microscopy, the filaments of Pythium, which are sparsely septate or aseptate, they resemble some of the hyaline fungal filaments, especially of Fusarium. Culture is a much more difficult process at that time, and so that was the second bad news. The third bad news was that because Pythium lacks ergosterol, most of the antifungals do not work, and ultimately we came to know later on, much to our chagrin, that it responds to topical antibiotics. And a lot of treatment failure was reported because of that. So the bad news is that if you land up with a misdiagnosis, then you land up with a mistreatment, and mostly the outcome is poor. It has been reported in the past that you can differentiate fungal from bacterial keratitis based on clinical pattern. So we thought whether this could be replicated in Pythium. Now, some of the clinical features of Pythium have been reported before, like tentacles, which are very thick hyphae, or reticular pattern, which is a net-like pattern of hyphaes and infiltrate, or you have this pin-sized intrastromal dots. So these were lesions that have been attributed to Pythium. We also found that you can have a furrow at the peripheral edge of the ulcer, and or a gutter. And we also saw that it can also present as a ring ulcer, or you can have an infiltrate that has a sign of, a central clearing. So these were the signs that we thought would be useful to differentiate Pythium from fungal keratitis. And we all know about fungal keratitis, the classic signs like dry surface, hyphae edges, endoexudate, satellite lesions, pigmented plaques. So those are very classical of fungal. So we put all these signs together, the ones we thought were very good for Pythium, and we took out the sensitivity specificity. Now, if you see that the sensitivity of most of these signs are not great, and their positive predictive value is also pretty less. And one main reason is because Pythium is not as common as fungi, and that's probably very good news. But if you see the specificity of all these signs are very high. So if they are present, they would probably indicate, the presence of Pythium, and the ulcer can be diagnosed as Pythium, presumptive diagnosis. So we thought, because the sensitivity is low, how about making the whole system more robust by putting it into a score? So we went about by doing two scoring patterns. In one, we included dry ulcer surface, because we found that in our univariate analysis data that I'm not shown here, there was a lot of Pythium ulcers where the surface was very dry, like we have in fungal. But clinically, classically, we have always attributed a dry surface to fungi. So we separated in another score, we separated the dry eye from that. And when we plotted a AUC curve, both the curves had a very, ROC curves, both of the scores had a very good AUC. If you see the AUC 0.889 and 0.896, there's hardly any difference between the two. So if you have, and here if you can see, if you have one score, the sensitivity is very high, but you can see this specificity, that is false positive rates are very low. If you have one sign, the false positive rate will be around 11.6%. If you have two, it will be around 1.4%. And statistically, if you have three, you probably won't get three in a patient, but then you probably won't need a microbiologist to make a diagnosis. That is statistically. So these are the two scores that we had. So let us see if these scores are actually useful or it's just a statistical exercise. So in this patient, we had two of those signs positive, tentacles. You had these tentacles and you had these pinhead lesions or intrastromal dots. So you have a score of 2. And so the false positivity rate is 1.4%. So there's still a 1.4% chance that thinking it to be a pythium in your clinic, you may actually be dealing with some other organism. So let us see what did you get in culture. So we got pythium. So let us see in this second, this thing. Again, now here we had this thing. We had this tentacles, a reticular pattern, and then there was a furrow kind of this thing that we have been seeing very specific with pythium. So 3, probably we don't need to scrape this patient and just treat them with antibiotics. So let us see another patient because we got culture there. Let us see another patient. So again, this patient had what we call tentacles, some kind of a reticular pattern. So 2 scores plus 2. So you have a false positive rate of 1.4%. So again, you see how good the scores are. So without this score, you probably don't need a microbiology. And then when you did the culture, we see that's fusarium. So you can't actually rule out microbiology from the whole picture. So then why are we talking about having a score and all these things? The thing is that we have different settings in our country regarding treatment of corneal ulcers. Suppose we all know that most of the comprehensive ophthalmologists or even cornea specialists, if they don't have microbiology facility, then empirically everybody treats with what? They treat with antifungal, antibiotic, and if they are very, very diligent, they'll also add an antiviral so that nothing is missed out. So, but pythium will not respond to anything like this. So, comprehensive ophthalmologists, by using the clinical score, increase the suspicion of it, they can refer it to a secondary center where there's microbiology facility and someone can distinguish filaments of pythium from filaments from hyaline fungi, or the culture with blood agar gives 1 or 2 days results. And what about in a higher setting where there is microbiology facility? So if you are an ophthalmologist or cornea specialist in the clinic, you can warn the microbiology that we are suspecting pythium, because even studies have shown that there's a lot of confusion with the filaments. So the microbiologist can be extra cautious and look at all the points where you identify the fungi. And sometimes if the microbiology report is ambiguous and you are also not getting a good response, and if you use the clinical score, maybe you will re-scrape, re-evaluate the patient, and then start the appropriate therapy.